How can I help you?
Hey, guys. I have a real piece of American history I'd like to sell you.
Okay.
Hopefully it's a toupee.
No, it's not a toupee.
All right.
I have a first-hand journal of the travels and history of Lewis and Clark.
Rick, this thing looks like it's been across America.
Okay.
I have a book to sell today that is the journal of Lewis and Clark's expedition across the United States in 1804. I've seen other copies of this sell for $16,000, so yeah, I'm trying to get them up as high as I can on it.
This is pretty cool, man. Can I take a look?
Sure.
You know about Lewis and Clark, Rick?
Yes, I know about Lewis and Clark. They were literally the Lindbergh of their day. In 1804, Congress wanted a route to the West Coast over land. They wanted to explore the center of this country that really hadn't been explored before. President Jefferson was way behind this. He really wanted this to happen because he knew that eventually the United States would be going farther and farther west, and he really wanted to know what we had there. But going on land across this country in 1804, it's almost the equivalent of going into space. So Lewis and Clark set out to discover the unknown. And they did this overland trek all the way across the United States over like treacherous territory and had adventures and everything else like that. When they got back to the East Coast, they were hailed as heroes. Before them, we had no idea some of the resources we had going west. And it really helped out plan the future of the United States. So where did you get this?
I was on an estate sale about 5 years ago, and I bought a box of books. I noticed this in here, Lewis and Clark's journal.
Actually, it was a journal kept by a guy named Gass. The troops nominated him to become the sergeant. One of the duties of the sergeant was to keep a journal.
The book, if you read through it, it shows pretty much a day-to-day journey of what they did.
How much do you want for this?
$16,000.
Okay. I have no idea if that's a good price or not, but I have a friend who will know about everything there is to know about the book. And if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, we'll bring her down here.
I'd love for you to.
Can you call Rebecca for me?
She'd much rather hear from me, trust me.
So it's Patrick Gass's book on Lewis and Clark.
I know this book. The expedition was 1804 to 1806, and this was the first published account in 1807. People were dying for information about this trip because you think about it, like the United States had just bought this huge amount of land. They were trying to find waterways the whole way through because at that point, water routes were the roads. That's how you did any sort of shipping. And that's what Jefferson wanted. Gass was supposed to keep a journal. That was part of his duties as a sergeant. And so that's what you're getting here, is you're getting really a play-by-play every single day. And Jefferson's really interested to see what was happening out west. It is, on the one hand, not terribly well preserved, but on the other hand, to have it with all of the original elements intact is great and does really affect what you can ask for it. So it's actually quite handleable, considering all things considered. The hinges seem pretty well intact. All right, but looking inside, this looks like an institutional library stamp. There are a couple of the institutional library stamps. But you can see this book doesn't look great, and that's typical. The binding here, yes, that's sheep, which was the cheapest of the leathers available.
So what's it worth?
So when I think about dealers who are specialists in Americana, I see them these days listing them for prices around $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. But this is ex-library, which is a real painful hit to the asking price because private collectors mostly really dislike that. So for this particular book, with all faults, I would put it around $7,500.
Why would it go down in value so much, being an ex-library copy?
You can see libraries tend to put stamps and things. They tend to leave markings, and the markings often are very obvious. To have one is annoying enough, but this has 3, so this particular library was a little stamp happy, unfortunately. And collectors are all about pristine condition. They want it to look exactly the way it did when it first published.
Because it's unremovable.
Yeah. Ex-library is a little bit like a, to use a literary reference, a scarlet letter, you know?
Thanks for coming in, though. You're the best.
Glad I could help.
Well, where are we at?
I'll give you $4,000 for it.
That's not going to do it. You can do a little better than that. 7,000.
I'm not gonna make any money. But $4,000 I think is a fair price.
That's too low. The book is the original book. It has library stamps, granted. How about 5,000?
I go 4,100. It's a fair price.
45?
I'll go 42. I shouldn't even go that high.
Done.
All right, 4,200. It's a deal.
Done deal.
You wanna write him up, chum?
Come on.
I made an expedition out here to Las Vegas just to sell this book, and it paid off.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
What do we got here?
I have these 2 Gnostic amulets.
Okay, you're right, they're Gnostic, because this is Abraxas on here. You probably have said his name many, many times, you just didn't know it.
Really?
You ever said abracadabra?
Of course.
That word actually originates from Abraxas from 2,000 years ago.
Today I'm at the pawn shop trying to sell my Gnostic amulets. They're my grandfather's, and I don't know a lot about them, but they look really rare. So I'm hoping to get about 5,000 for them. And if I get a good deal today, I'm gonna be traveling to Japan next year.
This is interesting. A lot of these religions that were around back then got stamped out by the Catholic Church and the Muslim faith. So we don't know a lot about the Gnostic religion. We know a little bit about it from some really ancient scrolls that were discovered in the 20th century. Gnostics believed in this whole thing where you didn't need a god, but there was God. You could have like a spiritual awakening through your dreams, through self-reflection, songs, and all that. And you can understand why an organized religion didn't like that, because they didn't need an organized religion. So these are amulets, probably from between the 2nd and 4th century. This is probably from the Middle East. These are on a natural stone, carved into bloodstone. That's what that kind of stone is called. People carried around amulets like this for good luck. People believed that evil spirits were all over the place. If you had bad luck, it wasn't because you shouldn't have been gambling, it was because there was an evil spirit nearby. And these kept them at bay. What do you want to do with them?
I was hoping that I could sell them today.
How much do you want for them?
I was looking to get 5,000.
They're a religious item from like the Roman period, which makes them really, really cool, but they're difficult to sell. I'll give you 2,000 for them.
What about 3,000?
I'll give you 2,500.
2,500.
It's more than a fair price.
Okay.
All right,
Right.
we got a deal. I will meet you right over there, and we'll do some paperwork.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'm excited I could get a fair deal today. I didn't know what I was walking in with, but abracadabra, 2,500. Looks like I'm going to Japan next year.
Hey, how can I help you?
I have something really cool here.
2 blocks of rubber?
No. Well, I'm actually not sure what it is, but I know that it's gold, and I know that it's something from the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one open up too?
No, that's sealed. Just this one is open. I'm assuming it's the same thing.
Okay. If found, return to Com Nav Air Lant. Just sounds really military.
Yeah.
Or CIA-ish. It's screaming like spy stuff to me.
I have 2 boxes, which I think are the same. I opened one, but I kept the other one sealed. I'm hoping that I have around $1,000 worth of gold in the one that I opened, and I am also hoping that the one that is still sealed contains a similar amount of gold.
This is interesting. Where did you get these?
I was backpacking around Eastern Europe in the late 90s. I was in Poland, and there was a flea market that had a bunch of old war stuff. I just bought them. They looked kind of cool.
Okay. I mean, maybe this is Cold War stuff? Maybe it goes back as far as World War II. I don't know. World War II and afterwards, most adults living at the time still remember using gold coins. Up until 1934, people in the United States had them in their pocket.
Right.
During World War II, it would be a really good thing to have because you don't know whose paper money is going to be worth anything next week. You know, because if the Germans lost, the marks weren't going to be worth anything. This stuff you can spend anywhere. Oh, damn, we got multiple gold coins here. Okay. I think that's 20 francs, 10 francs, a full sovereign, 2 half sovereigns. We got 3 wedding bands here, which is also easy barter. I mean, all I can think of is some sort of weird spy stuff. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You got like a scale on that little box where it tells you if it's gold coin is real or not?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
All right. They're faking so much stuff nowadays that we have to use this little crazy little thing.
Yeah, this is our spectrometer that we use, so it actually reads the materials that the coin is made out of.
91.7% gold and, yeah, 22 karat. It's all the real deal. So we got $1,250 worth of gold here. But it might be something more. I don't know. So let me call somebody who might know something about this stuff. If you can hang out a few minutes, I'll try and get him down here.
Okay. Sounds great. I've had this for 20 years, and I want to know what it is. But I am excited to know if I can finally open the one that is still sealed and maybe possibly sell the gold inside it.
These are cool. So is this one
Sealed.
Yeah, that's the sealed one.
all right? And this one's open. So it says, if found, return to ComNav Airlant. That stands for Command Naval Air Force Atlantic. So these are called, in the military collecting community, escape and evasion barter kits. These were issued by the US government for naval aviators, generally just pilots. Chances are you get this if you were going over occupied territory. The purpose of this, if you got shot down, bailed out, survived, and you found yourself on the ground, there was a pretty good chance that you could get home as long as you weren't captured right away, because the Germans were occupying France and Belgium, and if you need food, you need shelter, the best thing you can do is give them gold.
So we're talking World War II here.
Oh, yeah, definitely World War II.
So what's it worth?
So from a collecting standpoint, I wish you hadn't opened it. Opening it does hurt the value a lot. In this state, open but complete, I would safely say it's about $4,000 at retail. But this one is probably one of maybe less than 20 that anyone knows about that's completely contained. The problem is, a few years ago, some of these came up, and somebody went to open it, and it was empty.
So how do we find out what's in there?
There's only one way. You gotta x-ray it.
Okay, I know a guy.
Of course you do. If this checks out, and the 5 coins and the 3 rings are in there, then I'm pretty safe to say you're at 5,000.
So if you can meet me over this one place.
I wanna go.
Okay, all
I
right.
wanna see what's
So
in
if you
there.
can meet us, let me go make a phone call. Give me a few minutes. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah. So you're gonna take the x-ray with that thing?
This machine using a digital piece of film, so it shows up right away, no dark room.
Oh, so the whole
bad.
thing's
Hey.
gonna come up on here.
Hey, what's up, man?
Guys?
Hey, how you
How's
doing?
it going?
Come on in.
All right, cool. I got everything here.
Okay.
So here's the opened one, and here's the sealed one. Who should I?
Right
Hand it
there.
off to me.
Okay, cool.
If it is complete and there's actually gold inside, this is rare and it's valuable. Once you learn its history and you understand what it was for, who's not gonna wanna buy it?
So I don't know, is it gonna be worth anything if it's radioactive afterwards?
I'm gonna
just stand
move
back
over.
a little bit.
Turn around a little. Wait. Is it going?
Whenever you guys are ready.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, so we got a picture yet.
Almost.
Transferring data. Come on.
Almost.
Oh, wow. So the things that are bright, does that mean that's metal?
Yep.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins, 1, 2, 3 rings, and then that's the number plate in the middle.
Yeah, the number plate right here, yeah.
So that's totally complete. That means it's sealed and everything's inside. So that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Seems like you
All
guys
right.
got this all figured out. I got some patients to go take care of.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right.
Look, I mean, that's really rare. It's something that you just don't see sealed ones that much. It's what every collector wants who wants one of these. So I would value that at $5,000, the open one at $4,000, together as a pair, $9,000.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, man. I'll tell you if I get it.
All right, good luck.
Cool, thanks, man.
It was fun.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'll give you $5,000 for the pair.
Well, can you give me 6 for it?
I'll give you 51.
5,100.
It's a fair price.
All right. Okay. All right.
Cool. All right,
cool.
All right, cool. We got a
Thank you,
deal.
Rick.
Here, grab them. You touch the radioactive one, and come down to the shop. I'll get you paid.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, I'll meet you down there.
All right, cool. I settled on $5,100. I think I could have gotten a little more, maybe, but basically I paid nothing for it, so I'm really happy.
Welcome back.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
What do you have here?
Well, I got a couple of things. I've got a parchment, which is a license to carry for the Papal States. And then this is a micro mosaic brooch of a little dog from the Papal States as well.
Okay. Pope stuff. I happen to have a little bit of experience with this. We got an amazing Zucchetto from Pope Pius XII himself.
Do you know what a Zucchetto is?
I was told it was a zucchini. Let me get my boss over here for this stuff.
All right.
Rick, put down that book and come do something useful. This is a license to carry your gun in the People's States.
Okay. Is it serial number 007 or something?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So I'm here at the pawn shop today to sell a couple of things from the Papal States, a license to carry and a papal brooch. I collect things associated with the Vatican, and I got them from various collectors overseas. I had them for quite a while, and I'm just trying to clean out the collection a little bit. I'm hoping to sell the license to carry for $2,000 and the brooch for $1,000.
This is pretty interesting. So we have a little lapel pin or something like that. We have a license to carry guns from 1804. This would have been, a government document from the Papal States. Up until the late 1800s, Italy was not a country, it was a bunch of separate countries, and the Papal States, ran by the church, was its own country, and they used to have a lot of land. But now you have the Vatican that's right around a square mile. It's a real country, it's just very small, and it's in Rome. But Italy was unified in the late 1800s. So who is this signed by?
Cardinal Stewart was the one that was in charge of the Fabrica of San Pietro at the time. That's his coat of arms right there.
Okay.
And that's Pius VII's coat of arms.
I mean, the license to carry just basically gave you the permission to have a gun on your person in the Papal States.
Right.
Sort of similar today, like here in Nevada, you can have a concealed weapons permit.
Right.
So I look at it as a government document. It's not related to the church, and it's not signed by the Pope. But this, on the other hand, is super cool. Any gold jewelry made in Europe, you can look at the hallmarks, and if you know what you're looking for, it will tell you who made it, when they made it, the purity of it, all these things.
It's got the Papal States maker's mark, very small cross keys and tiara.
And it looks like ivory, mother of pearl, tiger eye. This is 17 karat. It's 70% gold.
Right, right.
So it's some really cool stuff. What do you want for these?
Well, for the license to carry, $2,000, and for the brooch, $1,000.
Okay. I mean, this I don't want, but I'll give you $500 for this.
No, it's gonna have to be a little bit higher than that. I'd come down to $900.
I mean, it's really cool, but it is micro mosaic.
Right, right.
Tell you what, I'll go $600 for it. I mean, you're asking a fair price what I'll retail it for, but
Right, right.
if I bought and sold stuff for the same price, I'd be out of business.
So $700,
So $650?
$675.
All right, $675, we got a deal.
All right.
All right, let's go write it up. You're getting soft in your old age.
What do we have here?
I have a script of The Godfather.
Okay.
It came with a picture of The Godfather and an autograph inside, signed by Al.
That's all we have is Al?
You think it's the owl we're both thinking of?
Yeah.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to try to sell my Godfather script. I believe is signed by Al Pacino. I want to sell the script to raise money for our charity organization. I'm hoping it's worth $10,000, but if it nets $1,000, we'd be happy with that.
Where did you get this?
This actually came in a donation to Catholic Charities. in a box of books.
Okay.
It's got a name embossed on the front, Robert Evans.
Robert Evans was the producer. Well, I gotta admit, it was a great movie. One of Al Pacino's first movies, and they almost didn't want to cast him because he was too young.
Well, I'm glad they did.
Okay, yeah, he did do a great job. I don't think this was an original script that was used in the movie. I think this was a reproduction of it that someone had bound, because the ones used in the movie aren't bound, they're torn up, they have scribbles all over them.
Okay.
When The Godfather came out in 1972, it was an instant hit. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan, it's considered one of the greatest movies of all time. Bob, it cost me a lot, but there's one thing that I got.
Ulcers?
Ulcers, okay. Thanks, Al. If this was from Al Pacino to Robert Evans, I guess it could make it worth a little bit more. One of the problems here, you only got half an autograph.
Well, I don't have the last name, but
Okay.
Al, Godfather?
Yeah, maybe Al Pacino? Collectors love anything to do with The Godfather, but it just says Al, 2 letters. Even if it is real, I don't know if there's enough here for an expert to authenticate it. What do you want to do with it?
Sell it.
Okay. Let me call someone in here and see if they can. I don't even know if they can authenticate that signature from just
Okay.
Al, but let me have them take a look at it, see what we can do.
That's great.
Thanks.
Thank you. My gut tells me it's really Al Pacino. How many Al's are there that signed the script of The Godfather? Come on, it's got to be Al Pacino.
What do we got here?
Script from The Godfather, signed by Al.
I'm a document examiner having to do with famous people. The Godfather has kind of entered our lexicon. I think it's the most quoted movie of any movie in history. Looks like it has a bit of age to the outside of it. It's been worn, so it could be from the 70s. But this is nothing that I think was used in the production of the movie, because they're usually multicolor and they can switch the parts of the script at any time when they want to. The script that we're talking about was a presentation script, either to him or from him.
My big concern is that signed by Al Pacino or just some dude named Al?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, most of the time Pacino only signed with Al. He didn't sign his last name unless it was a contract or a letter that he was sending to somebody very formal. You know, Robert Evans, important producer, and they probably had some kind of relationship.
Okay.
But let's take a look at the handwriting. What I'm looking at here is signs of forgery, where there'd be some pauses, some stops and starts in the signature. And what I'm seeing is a really good flow. All the signatures that I've seen of Pacino, they have that little extra loop in the middle. That loop is there, and the way it connects to the L is consistent with his known signature. So I would say, based on the circumstances, this is Al Pacino's signature.
Wow, that's great.
All right, so what's Al Pacino's signature worth on a script?
Well, people are crazy about Godfather stuff, especially Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. I'd say, you know, a high retail would be a couple $1,000s. That at auction, it might bring $1,000.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you. I'm really excited. All I'm thinking is dollar signs are going in my eyes right now. This is really Al Pacino's signature. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Okay, okay.
$500.
500, not 1,000, huh?
No, I mean, the thing is, it's not an original script. $500, I think it's a fair price.
I'm gonna have to hang on to it for a little while.
It's something really difficult to display. When people buy these things, they like to frame it, put it on a wall. You have a book here with a signature inside the page. $500, I think, is a really fair offer.
So $500 is the best you can do? You can't shoot any higher than that?
Told you, it's the best offer I can do. It really is.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, well, thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, I'm a little disappointed with the $500 offer. You know, I made the decision not to sell it. Now that we know it is Al Pacino's signature, a fundraiser would probably net more money than that.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good.
What do we have here?
It's a World War II bomb site.
This thing is really cool. Are you sure it's not like a James Bond nuclear bomb or something like that?
I have a World War II Bombsight that I inherited from an uncle. It appears to be in really good shape. Looks like most of the parts are there, nothing's cracked. So hoping to learn a little bit more about it and go from there. I'm looking to get as much as I possibly can to help with, you know, financial situations.
Because if this is what I think it is, it's pretty damn cool. Where did you get it?
Actually, it was left in the warehouse. My uncle, he passed. So my aunt said, anything you get out of the warehouse is yours.
Was he in the military or anything?
Yeah, he was a mechanic in World War II.
Okay, I think it's a Norton bombsight. Before this was invented, it was really a crapshoot when you drop the bomb. You have to figure altitude, ground speed, airspeed, the aerodynamics of the bomb you're dropping, all those things combined to drop this bomb on where you're supposed to go. And the whole idea was if you had a super accurate bomb sight, it's literally the equivalent of having 100 because all the bombs are landing where they're supposed to, which will change the course of a war. I think the federal government spent over $1 billion on the design and manufacture of these things, but you just increased your firepower by 300%, 400%, 500%. It was a massive feat of engineering. Literally, guys would swear an oath that even if they're tortured, they would not reveal the secrets of this thing because they didn't want the Germans to copy it. Anyone who collects World War II stuff is going to love this, so how much you want for this thing?
I really don't know. Based on what you shared with me, as much as possible.
Okay, let me call a guy up. He's the curator of an aviation museum, so he'll know more about it. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
I really hope I don't get embarrassed and this thing is a microwave oven. So tell me this thing isn't a pizza maker.
You think you got a real Norton bombsight this time?
I think so. There's no identifying anything on it.
Yes, well, it's part of a Norton bombsight. What you've got is the sight head. What you're missing is the stabilizer and the autopilot, the rest of the Norton bombsight. But you have the iconic part,
I have the head of the statue.
That's right. This is the part that people know. Carl Norton came up with this, a way of dropping bombs that would hit what we wanted to hit. As Norton said, he wanted to be able to hit a pickle barrel at 20,000 feet. We thought we had to keep this out of the Germans' hands. But unfortunately, at the end of the war, when we were interviewing Luftwaffe individuals, we found out that the Germans had actually had a spy in the Norden plant, compared it against their bomb sight, considered their bomb sight better, and didn't bother to build them.
So the super, super secret bomb sight all during World War II was not really a super, super secret bomb sight.
Yeah, as super, super secret as we thought it was. The interesting thing about this was it probably was on a naval plane with the kind of wear that's on it, probably a Mark 15. It's something that anybody who is into iconic pieces from World War II, they're going to be very interested in this.
Cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Very cool.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you $800 for it.
Top secret, historical significance, head of the statue. Great mantelpiece for World War II buffs.
It's not all there. We have pieces missing. And it's obviously not that secret. You know, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $1,000. I think it's a fair price. You got it for nothing, and I got to find someone to buy it.
All good points, fair enough. $1,000 is more than I had when I came in. I'll take it, thank you.
Sweet, I'll meet you right around the corner and we'll do some paperwork.
Thank you.
It's not a pizza maker, but I'm gonna make a lot of dough on this, hopefully. What can I help you with?
You got a shortwave radio, a 1963 model, Zenith Oceanic.
Okay.
You could probably contact ET with this thing, Rick.
It doesn't broadcast, he just receives.
He could probably contact us then.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my radio. It's a shortwave. It's a pretty rare find. It's a Model 3000, manufactured by Zenith in 1963. It's a unique, very collectible piece, and hoping to get some good money for it.
The cool thing about these is you can listen to like thousands of different broadcasts from all over the world because shortwave will travel all across the world. You can get a lot of information on this thing, especially at night, because you got better reception at night. Unlike FM signals, you're able to hear shortwave and AM signals from great distances because the radio waves are bounced off the ionosphere and sent back down to Earth. And it's particularly stronger at night because you're not having the sun interfere with the radio signals. It's neat that it's made in the USA. Actually, in the 1960s, right around 90% of all electronics in the world were made in the United States. And these things were expensive. So, my oh my, how things have changed, haven't they? I mean, it seems like it's in great shape. Does it work?
Yeah, it works great.
Well, let's turn it on. I guarantee we can hear something from somewhere. No, we're not picking up anything.
I think I hear aliens trying to communicate with us.
This thing is neat. I remember the old man having one just like it as a kid growing up. I'd like to have it, but it's only going to make sense if I get it for the right price.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, so what do you want to do with this thing?
I'd like to sell it.
How much were you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to have $80.
The thing's in beautiful shape. Yeah, I'll go like 80 bucks on it. You're asking a fair price.
You can't take his first offer.
It's a fair price. This doesn't happen very often, but the guy obviously did his homework and threw out a fair price. So I took it. Go over there and write him up, chum.
60 bucks.
80 bucks, chum. Go write him up.